What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? My name is Mark Roden. I know I need a haircut. Also, I know I missed an upload yesterday. I am sorry. I was working on the 350Z, but unfortunately I wasn't working on it enough to make a video out of it, so I couldn't get home and make the video, and that kind of just sucked. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. That's going to come out in a couple days here. But today, it's another The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. You guys ask and you shall receive. You guys have been asking for the Mazda RX-8, so today we're doing the Mazda RX-8. Let me know down below if you own a Mazda RX-8 or if you know somebody who owns a Mazda RX-8 if I get anything wrong in this video. On top of that, let me know some other cars you want to see. I already have a bunch lined up, but there's always more. And on top of that, if you want to see the G35, Honda Civic Si 8th generation, or 350Z, those are already done and on my channel. I'm going to be making a playlist soon, so click on my channel, subscribe for more. Let's get right into it though. Alright, so if you're new here, let me first explain the way this is going to work. The way this is going to work is first I'm going to give you a brief overview of the car, the body styles it came in, the trim levels it came in, the engines it came with, the transmissions it came with, chassis codes, and so on and so forth of the car. Then after that I go into modability, what people like to do when modifying this car, and then after that we finally get into the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then after that I make an educated, with quotation marks around that word, opinion on if you should buy this car or not. But anyway, let's get right into what's about the car. Anyway, the Mazda RX-8, it was produced from 2002 to 2012, which is a pretty damn decent runtime. But it didn't get much changes within those 10 years. From 2003 to 2008, the RX-8 went by the chassis codes SE3P and JM1FE, and they were powered by a 1.3 liter Renesas 13B 2-rotor rotary engine that produced different power numbers based on which one you got. But to keep it easy, here's how it went. If you picked the 6-speed automatic with paddle shifters, yes sir, paddle shifters in the early years of 2002, probably not the best, but you got 212 horsepower. If you picked the 5-speed manual, you got 189 horsepower, which is the slowest. And if you picked the 6-speed manual, which is definitely the one you should get since it's fun, and the fastest with 237 horsepower, that's a pretty damn good deal. In Japan, Mazda actually introduced a Mazda Speed version of the RX-8, which I think is actually super sick, personally. I think it looks awesome, but it made a lot more power. Unlike American markets, though, we don't get that car. Unlike Nissan's different trim levels, this one actually made a massive difference to things that mattered, like exhaust. It had a full suspension rework, spark plugs, flywheel, brakes, so much more. Everything you can possibly think about, pretty much, they changed in the Mazda Speed one. It really sucks that we didn't get in the US market because this was a really cool car, but oh well. From 2008 to 2012, they made a huge facelift to the car, making it look a lot more aggressive, and also made the manual transmission shift faster and have much stiffer suspension, which actually made it slightly faster than the previous generation, but it did not improve on any horsepower numbers. So out of the gate, that part didn't make that much of a difference. It did actually bump the miles per hour up a couple extra miles per hour, but not a difference in power, which doesn't really make any sense to me, but somehow that's just how it works. Now for the trims, which there are quite a bit, so bear with me here. Once again though, they only really touched up on things like looks or small things like sunroof, air conditioning, leather, radios, and they go like this. The Hydrogen RE was a hydrogen powered Mazda RX-8 that they only made 30 of them, so you'll never hear of those, but it's a pretty damn cool car, but unfortunately they didn't make a lot of them. The Shinka, the Evolve, the Nemesis, and the PZ were all only available in Europe. Not the Shinka, my bad. The Evolve, the Nemesis, and the PZ were only available in Europe. The Shinka was available in any Japan, America, or Europe. It doesn't matter which one you go for. The Revelation was only available in Australia. R3 and Spirit R, which the Spirit R is easily the most sought after one. It was actually the fastest. It had a top speed of 170 miles per hour, which is pretty damn good, but that was only sold in Japan. So unfortunately, we don't get them. On top of them only being sold in Japan, only 1,000 of them were even made. So even if you do live in Japan, it's going to be hard to get your hands on one of them. Everything was touched up on it. I mean, just like the Mazda Speed version, they made changes to everything about the car, and it was the last edition to be sold. It was kind of like a goodbye car, and it was easily the one that everybody wants. And pretty much that's all you need to know about the engine, body styles, and blah 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 about the RX-8. But now let's get into modifying it, and that's where it gets even more confusing with this car, because there is not a lot of people who own this car. For some reason, this car just didn't really hit people as hard as the RX-7. So there really isn't too many people around there modifying them. But when you do see an RX-8 being modded, it's almost always for performance, and it almost always looks good. Usually they aren't riced out, and I really like that about them. For people who want to go the show kart route, there actually is a pretty decent amount of aftermarket mods for them. Wide body and big spoilers was kind of the thing for this car, but it can look good with stock body too. It's just kind of hard. The body lines honestly don't really flow too well on this car, at least in my opinion, but once again, that's a personal opinion. Where the car really excels though is not the show car look. Not a lot of people build them for show cars. They build them for racing, and I'm not talking about drag racing. I'm not talking about drifting. I'm talking about around a track, lap for lap, circuit racing. The RX-8 is actually so good, and people love to bring them there. It's just like everything about the car was built to go around a track nicely and well, and it has very good lap times, it has very good acceleration and a great top speed, and everything combined into one just makes the car perform very well. For drifting, it's still a pretty good choice since it is rear-wheel drive, but for drifting you have to realize the car is going to be beaten on, and since this car came with a rotary, that does mean that this car is going to break, and when it does break, you're not going to have too much knowledge on how to fix the car, which doesn't bode well, which is another real big reason as to why people don't usually run these cars when drifting or drag racing or show car building them, is because it's expensive to maintain them. People love to engine swap this car, but once again, not a lot of people have the money to afford an engine swap right out the gate after they just bought the car. But for modifiability, that's pretty much it. But let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh god. And just so you guys know, I'm going to explain really quick. The good is stuff that I think is worth your money and is a selling point on the car. The bad is stuff that's kind of up to you. I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. If you do like it, good for you. But then the ugly is stuff that you just really can't get around no matter what you do. It's something that's very bad about the car, something that needs to be addressed about the car immediately after purchase, and something that definitely, you know, makes you go ew when talking about the car. First though, let's go over the good, because I am so optimistic. I'm such a happy person. And first of all, the car is unique. All right, not a lot of people mod these cars, and so when you see one modded, it really puts a smile on your face. There is a very small RX-8 community out there, so if you do end up going this route, you will get looks. Even at a car meet where there's a lot of people that have cool cars, a lot of people are going to want to talk to you about your car. Next is they're extremely dirt cheap right now. They go for like $4 grand for an RX-8, even less for some crappier ones, and more for the better, higher trim level ones like the Shinka, which is the one that people usually buy. The 6-speed manual though, the one that everybody wants, is around $4,000 for a pretty decent one. Obviously you're going to have to work on it after you get it, but it's the like starting price for them is very good. Next is the car was designed to be quick. It was designed to be a sports car. It was a predecessor to, or successor, I don't know how that is. It a successor or a predecessor? I think it's a successor. So it's a successor to the RX-7. So they know they had some big shoes to fill. Everybody loved the RX-7. And when they came out swinging with the RX-8 like Floyd Money Mayweather, they did pretty good. They hit it out of the park. Besides the engine reliability issues, the car performs well. When the car is running, it does good. Next though is the doors open up in the coolest way possible. I will put a video in right now of the way how the doors open up, but it is awesome. All right, the doors open up like kind of like truck doors, but even cooler. It's just, I don't know, it's something small, but I love it, and so I had to put it here. Next is another very small thing. It has freaking rotary outlines in the headrests. I'll put another picture here. In the seats, the headrest is a rotary like hole in the middle of it, and it just looks awesome. It's just like, it's such a cool little like, yeah, we got a rotary engine. Yeah, it's unreliable, but here you go, it's in your seats. And last for the good things is, personally, I think the exhaust note sounds unbelievably good. And it's not just me. A lot of people say that the Mazda's rotary engines is one of the best sounding engines ever built, and for good reason. I'll put a clip in right now. One that doesn't break. obviously that sucks. You know, you don't want to buy a car and have a transmission that's going to go on you within a couple months of driving it. It's not a good thing. Next is the engine is, I mean, we all know the rumors, you know, Mazda RX-8, Mazda RX-7 have unreliable engines since they're rotary engines, and it's true, all right? I know there's gonna be one guy in the comments that's like, I have a Mazda RX-8 and I've dailied it for 10 years and it hasn't given me a single problem. And I get that there are exceptions to the rule, but most of the time, the engine is so unreliable that people claim around 80,000 miles. Think about that, 80,000 miles, that's not a lot at all, especially for a car that's almost 20 years old now. You'll need to fully rebuild the engine. That's obviously a huge problem, but if you address the issues before, cough cough, apex seals, get those apex seals sealed up, my boy, because if you don't, you're gonna be crying to your mother, and your mother's gonna be like, I told you not to buy that car, and you're gonna be like, but mom, it was my dream car, and you're gonna be all like, and she's gonna be like, I told you to buy a Camry, and you're gonna be like, I don't want a Camry. It's just gonna suck, all right? So just address the problems early and you'll be happy with it. Next is one of the worst daily drivers that you can buy. I've said it, guys. I know, once again, I know somebody's gonna be in the comments and be all like, Mark, I am coming to your house, I'm going to punch you in the face. But listen, it's true. I understand that there are some exceptions. You can do it. Sure, you can daily drive a Ferrari if you want to, but it's not a good idea. Obviously, the big reason why it's a bad daily driver is because of reliability issues. This car is unreliable, but there's also 3 others that I can think of right off the top of my head. There's no space, so it's not like you can drive your kids to work and or school and back. There's cost of repairs on these cars are insane, especially if we're talking about engine mods, because nobody knows how to work on rotary engines. And it's rear wheel drive, and most of the time people can't daily drive a rear wheel drive car. So in conclusion, based off of my evidence that I've gone through good old Wikipedia here, if this is going to be your first car, don't buy it. I know they look cool, and they are cool cars. I love them, especially when you get to the freaking meat and potatoes of this thing. But you know what's even cooler than a car that looks cool? Actually being able to drive your car. And trust me, I made a mistake of buying a 350Z with a limp mode issue that I still haven't been able to fully enjoy. So take it from me, you don't want to buy a car that's going to be sitting in your garage for months, especially if you love the car. With that being said, if you do already have a daily driver and you want to take on the challenge and you want to prove everybody wrong and you just want to make a baller sports car that nobody else has, you want to be the Outer Banks type guy, that's a town, I don't know why I use that, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. This is still a great choice for you. Since not that many people do it, yours will be so unique. On top of that, they do have a rotary engine, and if done right, now that's the thing, is it's very hard to get it right, but if you can get it done right, they can make so much power and they sound so unbelievably good that it's going to be all worth it for you. But that is the end of this list. I just said list, it's not even a list. That is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you own a Mazda RX-8 and I got anything wrong, please comment down below. I would love to hear it. Also, please make sure you guys comment down below some more cars you want to see, some more video ideas. I am very sorry about not uploading yesterday. It's back to daily uploads again, but I was working on my car. I thought I would be able to post a video of me working on my car, but we didn't get it all done. And so I'm kind of waiting on a part to get here. And so I'm just going to all throw it into one video instead. But for right now, we're just going to be pumping out some good, bad, and uglies, top 10s. I might even try doing something just like random and just like talk about some random thing just to change it up a bit. we'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you already know what to do. Like, comment down below a car you want to see, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell. I never tell anybody to hit the bell, but hit the bell, all right, so you can comment first and be the legend, because if you comment first, you're a legend. But on my channel, if you comment first, second, third, fourth, or fifth, you're a legend, all right? Because that's still impressive. 5 people, like, that's dope, man. So thank you. Thank you guys all so much. We're so close. We might actually be at 6,000. We were at like 5,900 or 5,990 at the start of today. So we might be at 6,000 right now. So thank you guys so much for that. But anyway, das vidanya. Have a nice day, and I love you.